Good morning. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance for this fine Thursday. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom for your day. And we'll give it a moment for some of you to find me and pop on. But what an awesome day. Here we are. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. And I'm extremely happy because I have not as much on my agenda for today. Good morning, Joniel. Welcome. Glad you are here. Good morning, good morning. So I can tell I've been busy this week because getting to today and only having like 4 things on the agenda, I'm like, yes. Good morning, Beth. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. Awesome, awesome. All of a sudden my fingertips just got really cold. So we have a wonderful card today. Good morning, Abigail. Thank you for all the fun stuff. And so I'm hoping that the card kind of sets a tone for your day and gives you something to hearken back to. Because I think as we go through our day, we can, snowstorm and cold. Oof, oof. Well, we had snow yesterday. Well, first it was some snow, then it decided to sleet. But I am so grateful. You know, this is what our card is talking about today. The divine unfolding of things. My sister decided that she was here for a couple of days, paying his bills, blah, blah, blah. She decided to take Dad with her back to her house for a couple of days. He's going to help her do some projects, etc. And what that means is he's not here fighting me about who's going to deal with the snow. So, and was it Sunday? I think it's Sunday, supposed to be 50 degrees. So guess what? We're not dealing with the snow. We're going to leave it alone and let it go away on its own. Good morning, Megan. Glad you are here. So again, another one of those divine unfoldings that I didn't want to have to fight with him about snow removal, right? A 90-year-old man with balance issues. No, right? So I will, I'm eternally grateful that that's how this played out. Amazing, fabulous. Was not at all planned that way, but a happy outcome, a great accident. So our card for today is from the Soul Coaching deck by Denise Lynn. We've been seeing a lot of Denise Lynn lately, whether it's Native Spirit or Soul Coaching or a Sacred Forest. We've got all the decks, right? Yes, let God take care of the snow. Absolutely. And of course, the kids get let out of school. This is middle schoolers, so 12, 13, 14, that age span. It was so fun sitting here listening to the shrieks and yells, and they're sliding on the snow. Remember when we used to do that, people? Yeah, now we mince along like, oh my God, I'm going to fall. Yeah, but they're running, sliding, having a great time. Good morning, Mel. Glad you're here. So, and then the wind decided to pick up. So we had sleet and wind, and of course they're shrieking because they don't wear coats. Some of them don't even wear pants. They got shorts on, right? And it was whipping around. So I'm seeing all these kids bustling through with their backpacks catching the wind, you know. Some of them probably took flight. Anywho, it was fun watching them perceive and enjoy the snow in a different way than I do at my age. Good morning, Bobby. Glad you are here. So, Soul Coaching, Denise Lynn, what your soul wants you to know. Hello, Barb. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Card is Flow. Flow. I love this card. And as I'm reading it, I'm kind of smirking because it's like so spot on. So the affirmation for the day, and breathe this in, okay? Take a nice deep breath. Let it go. Opening to receiving this affirmation. Feel into it. Breathe into it. The glory of the universe flows through me. The glory of the universe flows through me. Cindy, if you wouldn't mind doing your magic with that one, I'd appreciate it. The glory of the universe flows through me. We are conduits. We are conduits. We are hallow reeds. It flows through us, out about into the world. We're kind of what someone suggested, and I don't remember who I heard this from, but like human beings walking the earth are like little antennae sticking out, receiving the downloads and moving them about the earth. I just thought that was kind of a fun way to think about us. So there it is. The glory of the universe flows through me. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate it. All right, so let's see what it has to tell us. Again, nice deep breath to open and receive. Card meaning, it's time to let go. Have we not heard this already this week? It is time to let go. You're entering a period of gracious ease and flow. I was working with a client yesterday, and that was actually her word, ease. Ease. We're entering a period of gracious ease and flow. All is unfolding perfectly and with good timing. Everything is falling into place because you aren't resisting the drift of the great river of life. So I want you to just feel that for a moment. Those of you who've gone tubing, it's a thing in Wisconsin. Don't know about elsewhere, but it's a thing in Wisconsin. So you're sitting in your inner tube and you're floating down the river of life and you're observing the scenery along the way. And there's things that you can maneuver around. There might be some rocks. And what's the worst that happens is you bump into the rock and you spin a little bit and you off to the side. Feel it, the flow, going with the flow, resisting nothing, because what you resist persists. If you fight it, I'm going to show you with my hands because they're good demonstrators. If you fight something, look at what happens. It moves somewhat, but it stays kind of where it is. If you stop resisting, there's nothing to fight against. Think of tug of war. If one side lets go of the rope, can there be a war? And might the other side perceive they've won? Yeah. What have they won? What have they won? So in flow, your soul wants you to know, when you're in a state of flow, you aren't pushing the river to go faster. There's Bonnie. And you aren't swimming against it. I've got a blog post on my website, empowermentandpurpose.com. If you go over under tools, it lists all my blog posts, but there's one called Row, Row, Row Your Boat Gently Down Life's Stream. And one of the points I make is when you are insisting on going upstream. Good morning, Mary. Glad you are here. Welcome. When you are insisting on going upstream, you're you're exhausting your energy trying to get somewhere that you're not meant to be. You've already flowed past that point. There's a reason why the flow has taken you where it's taken you. Stop trying to go backwards. Stop trying to step into the past. No school, probably because of weather, right? Yes? I'm sure we'll have school. I don't think, there's cars driving. It won't be that as bad as up by you. So no school. Fabulous. Enjoy your cup of coffee. That's good. I'm glad when they decide not to have the buses go out when it's horrendous weather. So good. Enjoy your day off. All right. So not swimming against it. You just let go of the shore and enjoy the ride. And I'm going to circle the word just there because I'm sure some eyes bugged out. Just let go of the shore? Are you out of your mind? I'm not letting go of what I know. I get it. But practice a little bit. If I let go of one finger and I drift down a little bit, and then maybe I grab a branch, and then it's like, okay, I'm bored sitting here. Let me let go again. Okay, now I'm going to hang on to this rock for a little bit, and I'm going to let go again. And hopefully with those little practices, you get to the point where you feel like, I can just let go and flow. I trust the flow of life. I trust that I am going where I'm being led, where I'm meant to go. That flow is going that direction for a reason. And again, sometimes when we look at it, it's like, what is going on with this shit show? But keep in mind, as human beings, we have a great intellect, but we don't have an all-seeing intellect. So there's a lot going on that we don't know. And all we have to benchmark against is our own limited perceptions of things. Keep in mind that they're limited, because then you can make much better choices. So I ended up with an emergency session last night, and someone was really struggling with someone. And several times I hearkened her back to within herself, to listen within for the guidance. And the guidance was there. It was there very clearly. Good morning, Cheryl. Glad you're here. She was afraid to heed the guidance, and it was bucking up against a lifetime of unhealthy learning, but she did take a step in the direction she needed to go. She honored herself. She showed up for herself. She did what she needed to do in the variation that she was able to do at that point in time. And I think things are going to be on the mend now. Much, much better, much healthier. I love that concept of she showed up for herself. She showed up for herself. Okay, so here we go. And this one I love too. So again, you just let go of the shore and enjoy the ride. Ha ha ha. But that's the aim. That's what there's a war word, aim. That's the process to embrace as best we can. Let go of the shore, allow the flow, see where it takes you, feel into the journey. I know, much easier said than done. We all need practice. We're all going to get opportunities to practice. We all have them right in front of our face, right here, right now. All right? So, and I love this. This is kind of a tongue-in-cheek comment, but it makes the point. A Native American saying is, it is best to ride the horse in the direction that it is going. It is best to ride the horse in the direction that it is going. So when you fight what is, what happens? Again, you get stuck. You get stuck. If you allow what is, and that doesn't mean, again, with the horse. So think about riding a horse. Can you influence the direction the horse is going? Yes, you have reins. Can you totally control the horse? No. The horse is co-collaborating with you on this journey, right? And some horses are very collaborative, and other horses, that's why they call it breaking a horse, other horses have a mind of their own. They're going to do what they want to do. So working with what you have, flowing with what you're experiencing, allowing. Take a breath here. All right. If you aren't feeling the smooth currents of life, anybody? It might mean you're trying to control situations in your life, or you're being self-critical or judgmental. Think about that. How often do we judge circumstances in our life rather than accept what is? I was working with someone else yesterday on that, where there were difficult issues between her and her daughter. And there's a difference between trying to control that situation because you're afraid and allowing the unfolding, making good choices for yourself and therefore for her in the process. But we all need help with that. We all need practice. We all need guidance and support because it is not how we have been trained. Certainly not how we have been trained in American life. All right? The way to move into flow, you ready for this? Is through gratitude and appreciation and by allowing others to support and help you. How often do you ask for help? So this circumstance last night, this emergency session, she had asked for help and was turned down. And that being one of those things in life where whenever she was asked, she complied. She would step in for other people. People not stepping in for her, not stepping up. But again, when we've been trained to go in on our own, deny our own needs, stuff the burnout, perform, oftentimes when we ask, we don't ask clearly. So a lesson to come out of this is asking clearly. So for instance, if I had fished further, and I didn't, but if I had fished further, yes, it is a trauma response. Being uber independent is a trauma response. I'll do it myself. I can do this. People, and my underlying message for many years was people don't show up for me. People don't show up for me. When I'm in need, nobody shows up. As I unpacked that one of the things I found, and I would guess that this might be the case for this person I was working with last night. We don't ask clearly. So I might say something like, oh, my plate is so full today. And the other person agrees and says, yeah, mine is too. What I was trying to say there was, I'm wondering if you could take this off my plate for me. Did I make that clear? Absolutely not. Good morning, Carolyn. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. So we need to be willing to say, my plate is full today. I am bordering on exhaustion. Yes, survival. Instead of the community coming together and thriving. Both in terms of there are people who are masterful at certain things. What if we had everybody working to their zone of brilliance, genius, what they're really here to do for people? So let's say, and that's why I love intentional community. Let's say there's someone who loves mowing lawn. You ain't looking at it here. Someone who loves mowing lawn. That person mows all of the lawns, not just their own. Let's say there's someone who loves to bake. I could probably be in that category. Bakes for everybody, not just self. And does that mean you do it all the time, every time? No. But yes, and the validation piece is incredibly difficult. But with practice, I think we can shift this mindset that has created this mess in the first place, right? Because here's the deal. We're not going to operate within that mindset and fix it. The mindset itself is what's broken. So we need to begin to work around the outside, the edges, picking away at it, asking the questions. So it might be, you finally found me. Well, good. I'm glad you're here. The joys of Facebook. It might be asking the questions. Is what we're doing the best way to get this accomplished? Is me saying, oh, I've got a busy day today, the best way for me to get support and help and getting a few things off my plate? No. No. It would be me saying to people, maybe more than one person, I have so much stuff on my plate today. Would you be able to take X? Allow the process to work. Then I might say to somebody else, I've got a lot of stuff on my plate today. Would you be able to take Y? Let's say I ask 5 people. Let's say 2 of them say yes. To me, that's a successful endeavor. Did everybody say yes? No. Hopefully they're all taking good care of themselves as well. And those who have a plate that's very full also, or they're just not up for it or whatever, choose to say no. That's good self-care. But there's 2 who said yes. So 2 things end up off my plate. I've eased my own path for the day. How awesome is that? And people were able to step into that position of helping. What makes you feel good about yourself? Helping someone else. Yes. So I allowed the opportunity, I sought out the opportunity for them to get to experience the joys of helping. Win, 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 right? All right, so let's keep going. Again, that idea that if you look at your life and you're not pleased with what you see, please don't just keep white knuckling through. That is not a useful strategy typically. Sometimes we'll say things like, well, I just need to get through the week, or I just need to get through this holiday season, or I just need to get through the end of the year, or whatever. How often are those kind of arbitrary endpoints? And how often do they truly yield the kind of change that we're looking for? So let's just say I got to get through the holidays. What happens then? Does something fundamentally change? No, you're still doing the same old shit. Sorry. But the pressures have reduced. So it's kind of like the universe lets you get away with your poor behavior. It lets you get away with, because the pressures aren't there, you get away with not good self-care, right? So then you go on for a while until you hit the next thing that brings the pressures to bear, and your unhealthy method of coping gets squeezed, and there's the call again for there needs to be some fundamental change here, rather than I need to ride this out until the pressures decrease so I can keep on doing what isn't working in the first place. Can you see the faulty logic of this? But we do it. And we do it because for many of us, we think it's easier to keep doing what we're doing that isn't working because it's familiar, than step off of that path and onto a new path that is unfamiliar, and we're uncertain where it's going to lead us and how it's going to turn out. And we might have to overcome some resistance at the point where we step from the old path to the new path. Can you see all this? However, when we function in community, when we link arms with others, when we have those beautiful, amazing people in our lives who hopefully kindly and lovingly, but sometimes more like, what are you thinking, call us on our stuff, then we can make some changes. And this season is ripe for change. The institutions that are kind of crumbling around us, that are being tested, that are being challenged, that are being shook up in some not very pleasant ways, we can see some things are going to crumble. Some things are going to crumble. And out of that chaos, order. How do we proactively, given that this is what we have right now, how do we proactively move toward what's going to be in the highest and best good of all? Right? So we can ask ourselves, is this particular thing going to be in the highest and best good of all? We met yesterday with a group of people, many of whom are parents of adults with disabilities, cognitive disabilities, mental, emotional disabilities, physical disability, the whole gamut, talking about how do we create housing, a supportive kind of housing environment for these adults as their parents are aging and worried about who's going to take care of my adult child when I'm no longer here, when I cannot do it anymore. So community is the perfect place for this to happen. And my belief is integrated community, not just a facility where it's all people who have disabilities, but a living situation where there are people of all different ages, all different abilities, and I'll add in my little piece, where there's commerce that supports their efforts. So let's have some small nested local businesses in which these, whoever wants to be employed can be employed, and give people a sense of value, a sense of belonging, a sense of accomplishment, all kinds of good stuff. So there we go. Flow. I'm going to dig it out again. Here it is. Flow. Where are you at in terms of allowing flow? Where are you at in terms of being present for what is? Not fighting it, not lamenting that it's not how you want it to be, but practically, pragmatically, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, acknowledging and accepting this is what is, right here, right now. And if I'd like things to be different, I can adjust my movements in the flow. I'm co-creating with the universe, co-creating with God, co-creating with the flow. I have influence on this, as does the universe. So how do I embrace this and be more in the flow? So that's your mission for today. Ponder the flow. Think about the flow. Acknowledge what is. Be in the present moment. Take a moment to stop, breathe, discern, and let's see what ends up. If you want to put some stuff in the feed, fabulous. For those of you who are not on the, well, I have two mailing lists. So there's the YEMIG mailing list, which means every day you get the email that contains this message. Just send the word yes to Bonnie@empowermentandpurpose.com. So the word yes means you're going to land on the YEMIG email list and get this every day in your email. The second one is my general empowerment coaching mailing list, which You get a monthly newsletter. You get, like for my Black Friday specials, you got some information about the Black Friday specials. If anything amazing comes up, that would go in that newsletter. And so you could just put newsletter in the email that you send to me, Bonnie@empowermentandpurpose.com, and I'll add you to the newsletter list. If you'd like to be on both, send me yes, newsletter. Have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. It will be Friday tomorrow, and let's see what Thursday has brought us. Enjoy your day. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.